Welcome to Game Fondue Reviews. In this video, we're going to take a look at King of Tokyo. King of Tokyo is a game where players play as monsters battling over the city of Tokyo. Let's jump right in with a description of the rules, see a few example turns being played, then I'll be back for some closing remarks. This is King of Tokyo, set up for a 3-player game. To set it up, each player picks a character and takes that figure and the corresponding board. You set your victory points to 0 and your life to 10 no matter who you are. And then you make a pool of energy tokens. They're just these little green cubes. You shuffle the deck and you lay out the top 3 cards, which are going to be available to buy during a turn. And then you just put the dice nearby where people can use them. The green dice aren't going to be used right away, but the black dice are always in play. The turn consists of 4 phases, which are rolling and re-rolling the dice, then resolving the dice, buying cards, and there's an end of turn phase where some things occur as well. The game ends when there's only one player left alive, or if one player acquires 20 victory points, then that player will win. Let's get to the turn. So on the rolling and re-rolling dice phase, person takes the 6 dice and rolls them. Depending on what they like and what they don't like, they can re-roll all or some of the dice one more time, and then they can choose to re-roll again. You can even re-roll some of the dice you kept from the first time. So the results when you're done rolling give you some stuff. For each one of these you take 1 energy cube. It can be from 1 to 6 depending how many of these you roll. And for each heart you get, you heal 1 health. You can never go beyond 10 though, so 10 is your absolute maximum. Next there's the numbers 1, 2, and 3, and you have 3 3s here actually, which is pretty nice. And the way these numbers work is you need at least 3 of them and you get that many points. So for instance, 3 3s would be worth 3 points. 3 2s would be worth 2 points. Now if you rolled an additional 3, you don't get 3 more points, but you do get 1 more point for each other 3. So this would be 3, 4, 5, and 2s and 1s work exactly the same way. The set of 3s required to score, and then any additionals are +1. Last are these attacks, and these attacks hurt everybody that's not in the same place as you. You're either in Tokyo, Tokyo Bay and Tokyo City, both count as Tokyo, or you're outside of it. So if you're in Tokyo and you get an attack, for each attack you deal 1 damage to each person not in your area. And if you're outside of Tokyo, for each attack you deal 1 damage to every person in Tokyo. So every time you take a damage, you lose 1 heart, and if you ever get down to 0, you are totally out of the game. So pay attention to that. Also important to note, the first person who rolls one of these will deal no damage because everyone will be in the same place, but you'll get to go into Tokyo. After you're done rolling the dice and resolving them, the next part of the turn is buying cards. There's always going to be 3 cards available for purchase, and their cost is up here. There's keep cards and there's discard cards. Keep cards, you stay in front of you and they give you an ability for the rest of the game. And discard ones you just use as soon as you buy it. And as soon as you buy a card, it's immediately replaced. You can buy as many or as few cards as you want. It's totally optional. You can also pay 2 energy at any time to discard the 3 that are out there and put out 3 new ones. And that's called sweeping. You can alternate between sweeping and buying as you please. Lastly, some effects on cards occur at the end of a turn, but otherwise that phase doesn't really do much. So let's talk about Tokyo. So when somebody goes into Tokyo, they immediately score 1 point. And every time it becomes your turn again and you're still in Tokyo, you get 2 points. So Cyber Bunny goes in for 1 and it comes back. Cyber Bunny's still in there. Cyber Bunny gets 2 points. The danger of being in Tokyo is you do not heal. You can't use those hearts to heal you. You can buy cards like this one here that heal you, but by yourself with the dice, you're out of luck. You're going to take a lot of damage, so it's very easy to die in Tokyo. But you can score that way too. If someone attacks you and you decide you don't want to be in Tokyo anymore, you still take the damage from the attack, but you can leave Tokyo and that person will replace you. They'll score the 1 point for entering, but now they're in Tokyo and you're not, so you can use some hearts or just beat on them a little bit. With 4 or less players, you only use Tokyo City, but with 5 or 6 players, you also use Tokyo Bay, and that counts exactly as the same as being in Tokyo, so it's just that 2 guys can be in there. So the first guy will always go to Tokyo, and the second guy who rolls a punch will hit this guy, and then he'll enter Tokyo Bay, and then both of them function exactly the same. But if players get eliminated and ever goes below 5, Tokyo Bay is immediately evacuated, and nobody else can use it. It goes to just Tokyo at that point. So the game ends. If somebody reaches 20 points, they win, or they win if they're the last person standing. Let's get going with this example playthrough. So we're going to start with the king over here. So he rolls the dice, and then he decides which ones he wants to keep and which ones he wants to re-roll. He doesn't have much use for these hearts at this time, so he's pretty much going to re-roll everything except that 1 energy there. So he rolls them again. Wow, that's a lot of energy. He's going to keep all of them and re-roll these hearts. Remember, he could have re-rolled anything he kept from the first round. And now he's done because that was his second re-roll. So he gets 4 energy, and those 1s and 2s do nothing because he has to have at least 3 of them. So now he moves over here, and he decides he is going to buy a card. It's totally optional. He's going to buy this one, and it's for 2, and it's immediately replaced, so he could keep buying stuff if he'd like to. And now he has the ability to peek at the top card when he's purchasing cards. He's not going to do it right now, but we're going to move on to the Cyber Bunny, and the Cyber Bunny is going to take the dice and roll them. And the Cyber Bunny's got 2 3s, so the Cyber Bunny thinks they can get some points. And they got another 3, so they're good there. They're going to re-roll everything else. Oh, almost 5 there, but just 3 points for the Cyber Bunny for those 3 3s. So they go up accordingly, and then it's Gigazor's turn. So Gigazor takes the dice and rolls them. And he's got, he'll keep this energy, and he's going to roll everything else again. And he's going to roll all these one more time. And he got a lot of stuff that doesn't help him. All 4 of these do nothing. He gets 1 energy, and then he gets an attack. So he's going to be the first guy to enter Tokyo because he's the first to attack, and he gets 1 point for doing so. Now each turn that he starts in Tokyo, he's going to get 2 more, but remember, he can't heal. Also, he's not going to buy anything, so it goes on to the king. And we're going to do 1 more turn, then we're going to jump ahead in the game. So the king's going to roll. The king got a whole bunch of 2s, which he's going to keep. And then he's going to keep that energy, and he's going to re-roll these others. He's going to do that and roll 1 more. Wow, so he got 2, 3, 4 points, and he's going to get 1 more energy in the process. And now, during the buy phase, he's allowed to peek at and purchase the top card of the deck. So he's going to peek at it. It costs a little more than he has, so he's not going to purchase it in this time. Now it's Cyber Bunny's turn. Remember, all of your attacks affect everybody who's not in your area, so if either of these guys attack, they'll be attacking Gigazor, and if Gigazor attacks, he'll be attacking both of them simultaneously. We're going to jump ahead to a little bit later in the game. Welcome back. The king is at 17 points, very near victory, and Gigazor is at 16. Cyber Bunny's only at 5, but Cyber Bunny's turn, and the king only has 2 health, so the king is in some serious trouble. The Cyber Bunny's going to keep these 2 hearts and this energy, but then re-roll the rest. And again, going to re-roll those. Wow, lots of nothing. Good for the king. So the Cyber Bunny heals back up to 10. Can't go above 10 even though there's 3. Takes an energy. And even though the Cyber Bunny didn't attack, the Cyber Bunny deals 1 damage anyway. So the king is down to 1 heart, so he's in some serious trouble. And now it's Gigazor's turn, and Gigazor rolls. He's got some energy which he'd like to have, but isn't super interested in it. He decides he's going to re-roll it all again. He'd really like to hurt the king here, but he just can't seem to. He is going to keep these 2 hearts, and he is going to take that 1 point just because he thinks that'll help him get up to 20 faster. Then he gets 1 energy, so the king is actually going to survive. He does get 1 point, though, and 2 more hearts. So at this point he has 2, 4, 6 energy. He decides he doesn't want to buy anything. And the king is now at 19 because the king started his turn in Tokyo. But remember, he can't use hearts. So the king is going to roll. He's a little sad because he rolled a heart. He's going to keep these 2 1s because if he gets 1 more 1, he wins the game. And he did it. So the king pulled it out because neither of these players was able to attack him, which is very unlikely. So the king gets the 20 points, and he's the big winner.
King of Tokyo is just wild, crazy fun. It's very easy to understand. It's basically Yahtzee with monsters battling, and what a great theme. I mean, you know, monsters fighting over the city of Tokyo. It's just something that I think everybody deep down wants to partake in. It's a game that scales really well with different age groups. You can have an older group of people playing with a younger person. It really doesn't make a difference because, you know, there's not a lot of strategy in the game. It's certainly all very tactical, and you just do what you can to eliminate the other guys or score as many points as possible. And different people will play it different ways. Some people are naturally, you know, a little more conservative and things like that. So this is a neat one. It plays very fast. I'd recommend it to, you know, anybody that's looking for a light game or just a group of people that likes a good, you know, beer and pretzels game or has some kids around that they want to play a game that's they can still play with them that's fun for them as well. Check it out. It's King of Tokyo.